The news broke that Robert Kraft, the longtime owner of the New England Patriots, will not be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in the 2026 class, and for many observers this has been a jarring development. Multiple reports from ESPN and other outlets confirm that Kraft failed to secure enough support from the Hall's 50-member selection committee to earn a spot in the class of 2026, a year when many expected him finally to receive football's highest honor. WMTW+1. Kraft, now 84 years old, has been one of the most influential figures in professional football for more than 3 decades, having purchased the Patriots in 1994 for $172 million and then guiding the franchise to unprecedented success. Under his ownership, the Patriots became a modern dynasty, reaching an NFL record number of Super Bowls and winning 6 of them, accomplishments that in many people's minds make him an obvious Hall of Fame candidate. Reuters. His exclusion from this year's Hall of Fame class comes in the same cycle that the Hall also reportedly passed on fellow Patriots legend Bill Belichick, the coach with whom Kraft built the franchise's dynasty and who, like Kraft, was a first-time finalist in his respective category. Neither Kraft nor Belichick received the required minimum of 40 votes from the 50 people on the selection committee, meaning they fell short of the roughly 80% threshold necessary for election. Reuters. For Kraft, this was his first year as a finalist in the contributor category, which is reserved for individuals who have made significant impacts on professional football outside of playing or coaching. Being named a finalist had already been a milestone after years of waiting. He had been eligible for the Hall since 2013 and had been a semi-finalist several times, but reaching finalist status only to miss induction has been a stunning turn. People.com. The reaction to this news among fans, analysts, and figures inside the sport has ranged from bafflement to outright frustration. Many point to the fact that Kraft's ownership tenure represents one of the most successful sustained periods in NFL history, something few franchises or leaders can rival. In addition to on-field success, Kraft's influence included roles in league governance, participation in labor negotiations, and advocacy for league initiatives, all of which are elements voters often consider when judging contributors. People.com. Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel spoke publicly about the situation, calling Kraft's omission unfortunate. Vrabel emphasized his belief that Kraft is more than deserving of Hall of Fame recognition and expressed confidence that he would eventually be inducted. Vrabel's comments reflected deep respect for Kraft's role and legacy in the Patriots organization, noting the owner's support for both players and staff over many years. Pat's Pulpit+1. The Hall of Fame selection process itself has faced criticism in light of these results. Under current rules, finalists in the contributor and coach categories were placed in a combined pool with a group of senior player candidates, in this case, Ken Anderson, Roger Craig, and L.C. Greenwood, and voters could choose up to 3 from the group. To reach Hall of Fame status, a candidate must receive at least 80% approval, and if none do, the top vote-getter by percentage could be inducted. This year, according to reports, no candidate in that pool, including Kraft and Belichick, reached that threshold, leaving the Hall without any inductees from that side of the ballot. https://www.wdtv.com+1. Some critics have suggested that external factors might have influenced the voting dynamics. The Patriots' history includes controversies such as Spygate in 2007 and Deflategate in 2014, scandals that raised questions about competitive fairness and may have soured perceptions among some voters, even decades later. While the Hall of Fame has official guidelines stating that off-field conduct should not factor into the voting, perception and narrative often play a role in committee deliberations, and for some observers, those episodes have become part of the broader conversation about these candidates' legacies. https://www.wdtv.com. There is also broader debate about the role of owners in the Hall of Fame. Some argue that the Hall should primarily honor players and coaches whose contributions are directly tied to performance on the field or strategic leadership. Others point out that impactful owners who helped shape teams, safeguard cities' franchises, and influence league governance also deserve recognition. Figures like Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys and Pat Bowlen of the Denver Broncos have been inducted in the past, suggesting that ownership contributions can indeed be Hall of Fame worthy, yet this year's results have reopened discussions about how that criterion is applied. New York Post. Fans across social media have reacted strongly to the news. Some Patriots supporters and NFL followers expressed disbelief and anger, arguing that the Hall's voting process is flawed or that it lacks consistency in how it evaluates contributors. Others have taken a harsher view, criticizing Kraft's off-field reputation or questioning whether ownership alone should merit Hall recognition. These conversations often highlight the subjective nature of Hall of Fame voting, where narratives, reputations, and individual voter philosophies intersect with straightforward achievements. Reddit. Despite the disappointment of this year, many believe that Kraft's story with the Hall of Fame is not over. Because Kraft will return to the ballot in future cycles, including 2027, advocates for his induction see this as a delay rather than a denial. They argue that as long as the Patriots remain a prominent franchise and Kraft's broader contributions are remembered, he will continue to garner support in subsequent votes. People.com. Kraft himself, ahead of these reports, had expressed admiration for Belichick's career and insisted that his former coach deserved unanimous first-ballot Hall recognition, underscoring a willingness to champion others even as he pursued his own honors. This speaks to a complex dynamic where personal respect, team legacy, and Hall of Fame aspirations coexist in intertwined ways for figures who have defined an era. Forbes. The timing of this year's Hall of Fame announcement, so close to the Patriots' appearance in Super Bowl 60 against the Seattle Seahawks, adds another layer of context. Instead of riding into that event on the high of personal recognition, Kraft and the Patriots organization instead find themselves reflecting on what another Super Bowl victory could mean, perhaps a fitting way to reinforce his legacy in the sport even without Hall induction. Reuters. This situation underscores how professional sports recognition often extends beyond wins and losses into questions about influence, narrative, and historical judgment. Kraft's tenure with the Patriots transformed a franchise and became a defining chapter in NFL history, and while the Hall of Fame's class of 2026 will not include him, the long arc of his career continues to be written, both on the field with his team and in the broader story of the sport itself. WMTW. In the end, the reports that Robert Kraft missed out on the Pro Football Hall of Fame highlight tensions between achievement and recognition, between public perception and institutional judgment, and between legacy and formal honors. For Patriots fans, football historians, and the broader NFL community, this moment is both controversial and deeply reflective, a reminder that even the most storied careers can face unexpected turns on the path to immortality in the Hall of Fame.